all these store closings, like we have one closing here too, downtown, a Walmart, and I've been seeing these other videos online about how their Walmart's closing up their stores along with Walgreens because of stupid reasons that, well, I mean, what they're saying is they can't survive in the areas they're in due to theft and other like results of being in the areas they're in. Like a lot of them, almost all of them, the ones that are closing down, are all in like what they would consider blue states in the team red, team blue idiot ping pong match. But the fact that it's all kind of happening at once is kind of weird. I haven't really looked too into it, but I bet someone else would be able to tell me what's going on with that. What it is I think the reason it's blue states is, yeah, there is more crime, but also it seems like there's something larger happening. Like maybe these blue states will be the first where they'll impose certain things that makes that space needed for other uses. You know, people have said in the past about how Walmart stores were set up to be like camps of some kind or something, and you know, we look at the design of them, the way you can go in, the way you can load and unload things at the store. The guard turrets in a lot of these strip malls are just regular Walmart only builds, you know, where they're like standing. It kind of fits. I mean, you can see it, you know. So but for so many of them to decide at once, like, that's it, we've had enough, I think it's more than just shoplifting. There's something, because you can, if one or two, that's so, I mean, that happens, you know, but a whole bunch of them, like at once, it's kind of, you know, that moves into pattern kind of territory. Now, if there was going to be some kind of extra tyranny, right, like extra lockdowns or new curfews or anything like that, it's usually going to happen first in the blue states. They're all together. The blue people and the red people are all the same people. It's just a big show. It's a big game to keep control over us. That's all it is. But they'll go with the blue states first because politically they're more obviously aligned with some of the things that would lead you to these kind of situations, you know. And they're also heavy gun control areas. Like, it's what they want to do this for the entire country, right, and the world, of course. But they'll start with the blue areas because it makes logical sense to us. Like, well, it's because, you know, people can't keep stealing from Walmart. What do you want them to do? So, but they were going to do it anyway, is what I'm saying. This is what, you know, just looking at the situation, like, kind of this morning, or this afternoon, whatever time it is, we're on, whatever time we're on. Yeah, it's it looks like there's that happening. Like, they want to empty these buildings out or repurpose them, and they've been heading toward closure for a long time. I noticed in some of my local kind of big box stores, there's got to be a lot more room. Like, the aisles are bigger, and you're like, oh wow, they built the aisles out so you can walk around. No, they just don't want you to notice that there's less shit there. So what they do is they move the aisles apart so you have more room to walk through. They put less stuff in it. They've been cleaning these places out slowly. So, and I know it sounds like conspiratorial schizo stuff, but that's my thing. Yeah, it just looks like something obviously larger is happening here. You know, they want these buildings emptied. They want to maintain more control over these areas. And yeah, there is heavier crime in those type of areas, but also I don't think it has much to do with it. Especially when you look at the way they're all closing at the same time. I don't know. It just seems weird. You know, I see a lot of people talking about it and talking about, well, the blue areas, you're going to have crimes. Like, they have you so locked into that blue-red paradigm that like you're missing the what's really happening because you're mad at these people, and these people are mad at you. And as long as we all stay mad at each other, it's good for them. That's the name of the game, though. That's everything. That's everything. As long as everyone's upset, mad, worried about each other, then we're not looking at the farmers. You know, that's all they want. And there is something happening because I notice in every kind of niche genre thing, like I watch a lot of YouTube and all different kinds of stuff, you know. And it seems like in every community or in every interest or genre, there's some crazy kind of drama going on right now, and everything. And it's like it just kind of clarifies the thing about how everything you're looking at is some kind of hustle, it's some kind of show, it's some kind of organized thing. There's nothing organic. It's all like meant to hold your attention. There's a show, you know, and there's a certain kind of show that you can find on TV and movie screens. And then there's another kind of show a few steps down from that where it's like stuff on YouTube or content creators. And then there's like every level of this is another show. And the show is the guy, the cage guard jumping up and down saying there isn't, hey, look over here, there's no way out of the cage. No, look over here, look at this drama that's going on. So hold your attention. And this is when I start thinking of the beast as like a force. You know, no one's getting all these people together and saying, all right, we have to cause some kind of drama in the furniture building hobby, you know, or whatever it is. It's leaky, that's the explanation I used before. It kind of leaks out into all these things and infects all these things, and it's under the direction of the same thing. This is under the direction of the beast, but it's done in a way so that you wouldn't know. I mean, most people wouldn't know anyway, you know, but it's a man jumping up and down, or woman, whatever, however you want to do it. You can make it any gender you want, any of the 80, whatever, whatever you want to make them. They're jumping up and down to get your attention so that you don't realize what's going on around you. And that's really all it is. I mean, they're turning up the intensity on that. And I don't know. Well, I know why. I mean, we all know why. This is they're trying to roll out this end of days scenario. But it seems like there are things that happen within the overall happening. Like when they want to get something through, no one to notice. It seems like the intensity switch is turned up on everything. And I don't know if I'm making probably not making sense. What is everything that you're watching or involved in or looking at, especially on a screen, is all under the direction of some kind of force, some kind of opposing evil force that just that makes things the way they are. And right now, it's like kind of in a time when they're turning up the heat or turning the intensity of the overall switch. I often talk about how there's levers and switches of control in this area because there always has been, as it was originally designed to be some kind of learning area or some kind of school or something. And there are tools, just like there are in like any operating system or even like on a user side operating system that allows you to interact with whatever the program is that's being the program. It's almost like the way things have been set now, it's almost like a torture chamber. Like everything that you can experience that could be an obstacle to you has been turned up to 9 or 10 or the whole way. I've talked about this before, so you know what that means, settled science, but you're really starting to feel it. Like everything is sort of geared toward diminishing you in some way, diminishing your divinity. And it comes in the form of attacks on your health, attacks on your mental health, your well-being, especially when you live in a crowded area where they want people to live. You know, that's their idea, is to get. I mean, it makes sense, right? You have a lot of livestock. Why do you want to have them spread out? You know, in this giant field, you have to go and you have to, you know, build fences and stuff, and have to, you know, no one wants to do that. So what they want to do is they want to bring everybody closer together so they can have more of a control over the people that they have. It makes sense, like from a farming perspective. I mean, it's a terrible way to look at it, but that's how they look at it. You know, this isn't something like I've concocted in my mind. This is just how they do things. You know, they see you as cattle, and they, for whatever reason, have determined that they don't need as many of us these days. So they're you know, it's kind of weird. Like, I've heard people say they're in like a kill phase. I think they're always in some kind of kill phase, or a perpetual kill phase. You know, they have to keep their cattle at a certain like amount of people. They like to have it manageable. It's certainly not for resources, or certainly not for the reasons they tell you, that we only have so much land or whatever. That's bullshit. There's plenty of resources and plenty of land. If anything, I mean, it sounds wacky, but I think that rendering concept, I don't know, there might be something to that, as far as, you know, when you look at it, this going into like theoretical physics. When you observe something, it's there. When you don't observe something, it's not there. So what that says is that everyone has a certain render distance for each person, just like in a video game or something. So when you have a lot of people in one place, it makes the rendering easier, because yeah, there are a lot more people viewing this render, but you don't have them all out like on the countryside where you have to create a whole scenario for everyone that's separate. You could just create the city from their perspective. That's just like an idea of how that would work. And the thing with the graveyards being instants, and you go by, I know this is going all over the place, but I'm just kind of spitballing. But a graveyard, how often do you go in there? I mean, how often do you see someone being buried there? Probably very rarely, right? That has to do with the rendering thing too, where I feel like there's maybe some sort of instant situation there, where every time you go into like an area, whatever, I'm just using a graveyard as an example, when you go in there, it's rendered specifically for you, and it looks the same as everything else. It's just, it's your turn to be in there. And you know, that has something to do with the rendering too, that keeps down the rendering, because I think there is, as much as I don't go for the whole like you're in a simulation bullshit, that they want you to think that, but I think there is a level of that mixed with the organic kind of system we have out here on the screen. I saw someone explain it really well. Maybe if I can dig it up, I'll put it up. But basically, this area in 3D, that there is a system that we're experiencing here, also has like an organic level on top of it, you know, added to it. For whatever reason, maybe for the interactions between you and your body, or maybe because it's just to make it look better. I don't know exactly what that would be. But yeah, it would be resources. It wouldn't be resources out here, because the resources don't have to be like rendered unless you're like near them, you know? So it's easier to get everybody to get their own place, and then make them live on top of each other, and then you have mouse utopia. That's a crazy study or experiment, actually. Check that out sometime. It was the idea of trying to see what having everybody live together in one city on top of each other, what kind of effect that has. I think they used all the same mice. I don't think they used different mice. That would be the real study. Put all different kinds of mice together. That would more closely resemble what we're doing here. As I'm saying that, I'm like, what am I doing here? I forgot why I'm out here. Oh, I know I'm going. All right, I gotta get going. Don't blame the teacher, blame the school.